Today, for the first time, victims and families confronted the El Paso Walmart shooter, Patrick Crusius. It was an emotional day with several people having the chance to tell him whatever they wanted in what's known as an impact statement. ABC 7's Sarah Coria joins us live now from the federal courthouse. Sarah.
Well, Stephanie, it is the end to a very highly emotional day. 12 families got the chance to speak out about what they've been experiencing. They described loss, devastation, anger, and lasting fear. You know, many of them went into detail about the life-altering impact that Walmart shooter Patrick Crusius had on them when he made the decision to open fire August 3rd, 2019.
Sit there and be in the same courtroom with the person that killed your family member, it's hard, man. It's very, very hard. I mean, you sit there and you think, man, if you didn't do what you did, I'd have my child, you know, whole in far right.
That's Paul Jamrowski, the father of Jordan Anchondo, who spoke to ABC 7 during a recess. Then shooting survivors and victims' families were allowed to issue statements in front of Patrick Crusius for the first time. A letter written by the Anchondo family was read in the courtroom. It stated, quote, "Why didn't you do the dirty deed yourself and just kill yourself? You don't deserve to live." Cameras were not allowed in the courtroom. A sketch artist drew these images. Crusius wore a navy blue jumpsuit with glasses on, feet and hands shackled, his hair long, curly, and disheveled. Family members were noticeably upset, crying, reaching for tissues, breathing heavier upon Crusius's entrance. Genesis Davila was in front of the Walmart when the shooting began. Her father was shot, but survived. Her soccer coach, Memo Garcia, did not. Davila said every 4th of July since the shooting has not been the same. She fears fireworks. They bring back the sound of gunshots she heard that day. She addressed the courtroom in tears and raised her voice in anger. "I will always hate him for what I went through at the age of 12, and I'm 16. Now when I go into stores, I look for exits in case it happens again." Davila then addressed Crusius, saying, "I want you dead. I hate you so much. Not only did you make me and my family suffer, you made my community suffer too. I hate you. No one invited you here to our quiet community." Crusius sat emotionless throughout the hearing. He would give gentle head nods while victims and families were speaking. Shooting survivor Caitlin Melendez spoke with a dog next to her. On August 3rd, her grandfather, David Johnson, shielded her from gunfire. He died. Melendez was the youngest to stand and speak before the courtroom at 13 years old. She was 9 at the time of the shooting. "You're not a monster. You're the devil. You took away my childhood." Her mother, Stephanie Melendez, also addressed the courtroom. "Having my baby screaming in the background, hearing my dad was shot, that was shattering. My dad made sure she came home that day. I promised my daughter the beauty of this world. You showed her a monster. I want my daughter's cries to haunt you." Thomas Hoffman, son of victim Alexander Hoffman, also said, "You deserve to suffer in jail and burn in hell. You are an evil parasite that is nothing without a weapon. I hope you always think of the families who suffer because of you, you stupid bastard." And more families and victims will get the chance to speak to Crusius tomorrow at 9 a.m. The sentencing phase is expected to last several days as many families and victims are impacted. Reporting live in downtown El Paso, Sarah Coria, ABC 7.
All right, Sarah. And ABC 7 spoke to Dee Margo, who was El Paso's mayor when the Walmart shooting happened. He was in the courtroom today.
I watched the killer the whole time. He showed very little emotion whatsoever. He did not look over at any of the victims or their families. And this is a tough time for El Paso and our region.
And ABC 7 also spoke with a former prosecutor and one-time assistant U.S. attorney for added context about these proceedings. Because Crusius pleaded guilty, James Montoya says the sentencing hearing itself is a legal formality.
It's so the families of the victims and survivors can directly address the defendant and let them know how the shooting has affected them.
This was never really a question of what happened or who did it. This case has always been about what is the appropriate punishment. So in that sense, that does make it a hard case. The fact that he was willing to plea in federal court, I think, is evidence of his willingness to plead guilty. but I can't really speak to the conversations that are happening between the DA's office and Mr. Spencer.
Montoya is running for El Paso District Attorney, but ABC7 asked for his insight because he was on the prosecuting team under former District Attorney Jaime Esparza when the state began building its case against Crusius in 2019. And just to be clear, Crusius pleaded guilty to 90 federal murder and hate crime charges back in February.
That guilty plea came after federal prosecutors announced they would not seek the death penalty. In exchange for the guilty plea, Crusius will receive 90 consecutive life sentences for killing 23 people and wounding 22 others at the Cielo Vista Walmart on August 3rd, nearly 4 years ago.
Crusius plans to issue a statement to the judge before he is officially sentenced. Crusius could explain his actions, issue an apology, or even show remorse, but we won't know until it happens.
Crusius still faces state capital murder charges. This is video of when he pleaded not guilty before a district judge in October of 2019. It was the only time he was seen in a courtroom where cameras were allowed. The El Paso District Attorney says the state will seek the death penalty. The state trial is scheduled to begin with jury selection in January of 2024. And you can expect complete team coverage of Crusius' sentencing tomorrow on air and on KVIA.com.
Be sure to download the KVIA News app to get breaking news alerts on your phone about the Crusius sentencing hearing. We sent several today with major developments.